Hello, we are Tea and Toffees, a twice-monthly VTuber podcast. I am Neitshayd. I'm still an undead demon.
And hello, I'm Cecilia, not a witch anymore.
This is the last Harry Potter episode of the year, the last one for Book 2, Chamber of Secrets. Can possibly be a shorter episode, but I don't know yet, and no one cares anyway, so let's go. Chamber of Secrets, Chapter 14, Cornelius Fudge. Which starts with Hagrid, to which I have to say, I know I'm supposed to find Hagrid endearing, but I can't bring myself to. I think my memory's not the best, but I think I've always been kind of indifferent about him, back when I still loved the books. These days, well, I feel about Hagrid as I feel about Harry, which is not positive.
I'm like,
Either way,
he's there, sometimes he is annoying, I mostly don't care.
Yes. But we're supposed to find him endearing, and we're supposed to like him.
We're supposed to, doesn't mean that we will.
Harry didn't either, apparently. He didn't name a single of his children after him.
Nope.
So, Harry and Co. have to choose elective subjects for their third year. I'm sure those will be interesting. They're not. Well, care of magical creatures is to a certain degree interesting, but we didn't really put much thought into any of them, and that's disappointing. More on that in Book 3, because the CS says it makes more sense in Book 3. But I cannot mention this in Book 3 because it's relevant here. Percy recommends divination to Harry. Like, what? Percy. And he doesn't even tell Harry anything at all about arithmancy or study of ancient runes. This is Percy we're talking about.
You would think Percy, of all people, would like arithmancy and study of ancient runes and not think highly of divination. But I guess since Harry isn't going to take arithmancy or study of ancient runes, the author just thought, let's not put anything in there.
But that's just, it's not in character for Percy, our residential nerd.
Nope, it isn't.
We continue this chapter with Quidditch. Oh, Riddle's journal is gone. Anyway, Quidditch, like Harry, buddy, Quidditch is not that important.
To Harry it is.
Yeah, he's not even wondering why someone would want the journal that is empty for all appearances. Actually, why do people know about it in the first place? Because like the only time it came up was the Valentine incident, where Draco was like, "Oh, Harry Potter's diary," but
ooh.
So, and then he's like, "Yeah, wonder what his new owner's doing with the diary," and I'm like,
writing
you sure
in
it's
it?
A new owner?
Nothing?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, it could be a fan who was like, "Oh, I saw this altercation with Draco Malfoy, and I desperately need to know what Harry Potter's diary looks like," but although that's not actually that far from the truth, is it? But Harry doesn't even consider that, so it just doesn't make sense what he's thinking, but we know Harry's an idiot, so what am I even talking about? On the matter of idiots, Hermione, you're supposed to be the smart one. Don't run off on your own without telling your friends that you figured out that Harry hears a snake's hissing. And don't run off on your own when Harry just told you the monster's up and about and you are muggle-born. Honestly, she deserved to get petrified just for that. That was a stupid move on her part.
Very stupid.
Yes, so McGonagall counsels the Quidditch team, thank Merlin, because Hermione ran off on her own and got petrified for it. And McGonagall counsels the Quidditch match via a magical megaphone? So is that a muggle megaphone that got enhanced? Is it a magical contraption based on a muggle megaphone? Is it a metaphor on Harry's part? I want to know.
We will never know. And what happened to Sonorous? You know, the spell that is supposed to do exactly what a muggle megaphone does?
Excellent question. The author probably hadn't thought of it yet.
Possibly.
Yeah, so Hermione has been petrified. Curfew is now strictly at 6 p.m. Students will be escorted between classes. Took them long enough to implement some security measures.
It's Hogwarts. What did you expect?
Too much, apparently.
Mm.
I have a little quote here from, well, the Gryffindors are in their common room and not happy with what has happened, obviously. That's 2 Gryffindors down, not counting a Gryffindor ghost. 1 Ravenclaw and 1 Hufflepuff, said the Weasley twins' friend, Lee Jordan, counting on his fingers. Haven't any of the teachers noticed that the Slytherins are all safe? Isn't it obvious all this stuff's coming from Slytherin? The heir of Slytherin, the monster of Slytherin. Why don't they just chuck all the Slytherins out? He roared, to nods and scattered applause. I feel betrayed. Lee, I thought you were neat. But apparently he's not. For one, since she who must not be named made Slytherins racist, the Sorting Hat probably wouldn't sort a Muggleborn into Slytherin, and thus there are none for the monster to attack. At least I hope the Sorting Hat doesn't, because those poor Muggleborns would have a horrible, horrible time in the racist house. Even if Slytherin's ideals, other than the racism, because we do have other ideals, would benefit the Muggleborn. Would not be a good idea to put a Muggleborn in Slytherin. 2, excuse you, Lee, not all Slytherins are evil, and not all Slytherins are racist. Like, I'm an evil Slytherin, but I'm not racist. At least I hope I'm not.
No, you're not.
Thank you. Says the Hufflepuff, so it must be true. I can't wait for Lee to realize it was a Gryffindor all along. Sure, she was manipulated by the memory of a Slytherin, but she is a Gryffindor nonetheless, so... This is also a missed opportunity on you-know-who's part to write some actual good plot about people being complex and looking beyond the prejudice instead of simply making an entire house into bad people.
It's you-know-who. She also made an entire house useless.
So she did. And then there's the house everyone forgets about. The one that doesn't even get proper merch. Harry's like, time to get the old cloak of his father's out. And I'm like, I'd completely forgotten about the cloak. This is Harry, apparently.
Yeah, we all forgot about it.
Yeah, took 13 chapters for it to come back. So, using the Deathly Hallow, we completely forgot about. Harry and Ron go to visit Hagrid to ask about the chamber, only to be interrupted by the arrival of Minister Fudge, who has come to arrest Hagrid because the Ministry has to do something. Like, yeah, Ministry arresting people to make themselves look good. This seems like a societal problem a protagonist should solve, doesn't it? But nah, never mind.
Never mind. Harry has an evil Dark Lord to defeat.
Yes. No time left to fix society.
No.
We just introduce these problems. They're there.
They're there, and then we do nothing with them.
Okay. Chapter 15. Aragog. Someone with a rational mind said. Someone sensible would be like, why has the school not been closed and the students sent home? But this is Hogwarts. So if the teachers personally bring the students to their next class, they won't be present to receive their own next class. So the students would wait by or in the classroom unsupervised until their teacher comes back from escorting their previous class, which makes no sense. Security-wise.
Right? It just doesn't work to always have a teacher with a class. Also, shared classes between houses? They would have different subjects next. How do they decide which house to escort to their next class first? So, after potions, Snape escorts them to herbology. After that, they are escorted to defense, where later Lockhart bounced into the room, meaning he wasn't there. So, teachers escort them and just leave them there?
Because apparently classrooms are safer than the corridors. I mean, bit, maybe?
Nowhere to run if the monster attacks.
So far, all victims were attacked in the corridors.
So far, that might change at any moment.
Yeah, it's just... Also, none of the victims were attacked while in a group.
True.
We only got Penelope and Hermione were a pair. Nick doesn't count, he's a ghost. And the others were all on their own, so... Alright. So Harry and Ron sneak out at night to follow Hagrid's advice. Follow the spiders. Apparently, the front doors are just locked. Apparently, there are no spells for additional security in place. More importantly, has anyone been feeding Fang and letting him out at all since Hagrid got arrested?
I hope so.
Because poor doggo.
Yes, poor doggo.
Also poor doggo because, worried that Fang might wake everyone at the castle with his deep booming barks, they hastily fed him treacle fudge from a tin on the mantelpiece, which glued his teeth together. Someone needs to tell the author that treacle fudge is not good for dogs. Do not give your dogs treacle fudge. Do not do that. Do not feed your cats treacle fudge either, on that matter. And that line was so unnecessary too, because just leave it out. No need to give the poor dog health issues. Because of it's a dog. Dog barks.
Yes.
It just
leave it be. It's not doing anything bad.
Either not write it barking or let it bark.
Yeah.
Just don't feed it treacle fudge. Poor doggo. Poor doggo. We also get a friendly reminder that one's wand is still a program, because that's gonna be important later on. But how has Ron managed to make it this far into the school year with a broken wand when almost every subject relies on casting spells? Are they only getting grades on written homework? Why has no teacher, especially McGonagall, done anything about this?
Because they are all incompetent.
Yeah, that checks out.
It's also very convenient that the spiders followed the path at first. And if Harry's lumos illuminated the path just enough to see, then how did they see the spiders? Teeny tiny little spiders?
Convenient spiders, walking the correct way 24/7.
Yes, very convenient spiders.
Imagine you're trying to become an animagus, and you're pretty sure it's whatever animal you think it is, and then you end up as a spider.
You can sit on walls. There's always the risk that someone wants to smash you or similar.
You would you can eat flies. You wouldn't be a fly on the wall, you would be the spider on the wall, eating the fly and listening in.
I can be a friendly helper to get rid of all the flies.
I suppose being a spider would not be as bad as having a spider next to you. Just crawl over your hand.
Just stay away from humans.
Yeah.
And other deadly creatures.
No, actually, I could scare the humans. Seek out all the people like Ron who are afraid of spiders and creep closer and closer and closer.
I would search for a friendly human that doesn't want to kill me. So stay away from many humans, because if you have many humans, they will want to kill you. So, one of them. So, friendly human.
Well, I suppose in a castle as big as Hogwarts, no one takes care of the spiders. It's just an impossible task.
Just empty classroom. This is my classroom now.
Would you just live your life as a spider and never return to your human form then?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's like
depends.
It's like I don't like Peter Pettigrew, but living 12 years as a pet of some nice family that's keeping you fat and warm and healthy sounds nice. No responsibility to whatsoever.
Maybe I can find a friendly human who takes me in as their pet.
Lee Jordan has a pet acromantula. Not acromantula, a pet. Oh god, what was it? Not bird spider? No, wait. What were they? Tarantula. Tarantula. He has a pet tarantula.
Maybe if I'm another deadly spider, he will take me in as a pet as well.
Black Widow. Or a huntsman spider. Back on track. I'm taking a bit of an issue with the writing style in this chapter. Because to me it sounds odd when she writes, the darkness seemed to be pressing on their eyeballs. Sounds weird. Also, the gasp. The flying car is back. So the car is fueled by magic. That does answer one of my previous questions. Somehow. Because magic. And it apparently doesn't need to eat. Well, I suppose it would eat magic, I guess. Or something. And it is sentient? How did that happen?
I have no clue, so I'm going to ignore it. We finally meet Aragog, Hagrid's giant spider. Aragog came from a distant land, was given as an egg from a traveler to Hagrid. No suitcase mentioned that would indicate that it was new to Scamander. Is that a film thing or a fanon thing?
A fandom theory.
Oh, it's a film thing.
Wait. Well, no. It's not a film thing. Like I said, it's a fandom theory.
I remember hearing that while watching the film.
Nope. No. Well, no.
I mean, maybe I can prove you wrong, or you can prove me wrong once we get to watching
that.
the
When
films.
I read your notes, I checked that. I looked it up, and it's like we have no evidence that it was new whatsoever. It's just a popular fandom theory.
Maybe it was in the synchronization I watched as a child.
Well, I wouldn't know. I watched the films in English.
I guess.
And it's not in the book at all, so. Not canon. Possible canon, but not canon. So we learn that Aragog and his wife got lots of children. Those children don't want spouses, apparently. They're just staying with their parents, single forever? Or are there other acromantulas in the Forbidden Forest? Doesn't seem to be a native species, so I doubt that. But I also doubt they could mate with their smaller spider cousins. I don't know whether Volume 6, the Half-Blood Prince, mentioned anything about that, because that's when we next meet the spiders. Conveniently forgotten for all books in between.
Yeah.
It's just... Apparently they're gonna stay single forever, all those children. Or interbreed.
Yeah, apparently they don't really have much choice, do they?
They could leave the colony to seek out someone new on their own in a far, far land.
Who knows how long they would have to walk? Sounds exhausting.
Big spider. It's gonna be fine.
But it needs to hide all the time.
Nah, it can just eat every human it comes across. Easy peasy.
Oh yeah, true enough. Just avoid large settlements of humans.
Also easy peasy. So, you know who has more odd writing choices in this chapter? She keeps using the phrase, their eyes were popping. And I find that mildly disturbing. I don't know, it's like the eyes were bulging doesn't sound better, but it is for some reason still better. I can't really explain it. It's just...
Well, to me, I feel the same. Popping sounds weird. Bulging just sounds like they're like enlarged, big eyes. And popping sounds more like the eyes literally popped out of the eye sockets. No more eyes. And that's, I think that's it.
Yes. It also sounds like I could pop your eyes.
Please don't.
Would that cause a lot of blood to be everywhere? Is that? Yeah, I think there are blood vessels in our eyes. Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Someone's gonna pop your eyes. The darkness is gonna pop your eyes.
Please don't.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase.
Me neither.
I don't like it.
Me neither. So, what have we found out? Hagrid is innocent. A girl died in a bathroom.
Back to the castle it is. Please lock the door behind you. Otherwise, there will be drama when the teachers or prefects find it unlocked in the morning. Or not. I mean, there should be, but it's Hogwarts and it's Hogwarts. Writing.
Nothing mentioned about it. Maybe Harry didn't notice.
Yeah, maybe Harry just simply did not notice that either himself or Ron locked the front door because that's Harry.
How can you not notice yourself that you yourself locked the front door?
Yeah, sometimes you're just an autopilot. Or they forgot, and it just was never mentioned because it's apparently not a security hazard. So, more unnecessary lines that were written in this chapter. One is Harry says something to Ron in their dormitory. And the quote is, yada yada yada, said Harry, ignoring Neville's snuffling snores from the corner. I suppose she was like setting the scene in that, even though the chapter kind of ends after that. But yes, I'm unnecessarily nitpicky in this, but like, why did she put that in there if it isn't of any relevance whatsoever? Because the way she wrote it like this, it draws attention to it. And if you draw attention to a sentence like this, then it has to be of some relevance. Like Neville could be pretending to be asleep and secretly listening in or something, but he's not. So why did you?
I have no clue.
Yeah, but okay. Chapter 16, The Chamber of Secrets. Right. We gotta mention the devastation at our exams at this point, so that we can all be happy later on when they're cancelled. Even though that brings way too many problems with it. And Ron's wand is still broken. But we discussed that more than enough in the previous episode and this one. So, oh gosh. Next, the mandrakes are ready for cutting. The sentient plants that have gender identities and go through puberty and throw parties are ready for cutting.
Yes, they
I will leave it at that. I will leave it at that.
No more.
So, on the matter of petrification, how are they kept alive? Because if you're petrified, I'm assuming no breathing, no sustenance that you could somehow absorb, eat, drink, whatever. No heartbeat? Also, are your muscles petrified in time as well, or do you get muscle atrophy? And also, they missed like an entire school year or significant parts of it?
Magic.
Okay, well, magic could be the answer to the first two, not. And visiting society is illogical. That could be the answer to the third, but I think in reality it is bad writing for all three of them.
Possibly.
Probably.
What I wondered about was, there are chairs in the Great Hall for breakfast?
Yes.
Can you imagine all the noise when people sit down and get up? The legs of the chairs scraping over the floor, scratching it all up. If it weren't all magically charmed, which I assume it is, this is another thing the films changed, and I have a hard time with it. Just like a blonde Neville.
Neville is blonde. I really like Neville's actor, though. He's awesome.
Yes.
It's just, well, from a logical perspective, not logical. What's the word? Forgot the word. Anyway, it's easier to sit down and logistical. That's the word. Logistical standpoint. It's easier to sit down and get up with chairs compared to long benches. And I think the chairs were mentioned a few times before, or they will be mentioned. At the very least, they are always there for the smaller Christmas meals at Hogwarts. So
I mean, for small
it just makes
meals,
sense.
I get it. Yeah, it does make sense, but I'm just having a hard time with it because I watched the films so often growing up.
Yeah, they do leave a lasting impression, even though they are not good.
And why does Percy want to take Ginny's seat? I get that it's convenient to stop her from telling Ron that she did the attacks, but it implies there are not enough chairs for everyone. Do people just stand around waiting for a free chair? Could result in you being late to class unless you skip a meal. Because you bet the children will just sit there and chat and not get up once they finished their meal.
I mean, I suppose he's just too tired to find a seat elsewhere. Like, if you've just been on night patrol, and you'd just be like, oh, Ginny, you're done anyway. Please vacate your seat so I can just slump around and eat some breakfast and try not to fall over and fall asleep.
Sounds very unlike Percy, but also very accurate if you're sleep deprived.
Yeah, there must be enough chairs for everyone. Otherwise, they can't just make spontaneous announcements to all students during meal times.
It's Hogwarts. They can do it anyways.
Yeah, but it's like during the feast, we have every student present, so just why would they take chairs away?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Harry and Ron just... I forgot what they... It's been so long, I forgot what they wanted to do, but they get caught by McGonagall and then make up an excuse that they want to see Hermione. And it's kind of sweet that McGonagall allows Harry and Ron to go and see her, even though they're supposed to be in class. Even if it is history of magic.
They found out about the girl who died in a bathroom, so maybe they want to go to the dead girl in the bathroom?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Anyway, more important stuff than them skipping class. Why did Hermione rip out a page of a library book? The poor book! The book deserves better. I thought Hermione knew better. I'm severely disappointed.
Yeah. She could have just copied the text onto a scroll or into a notebook. Like, you should always carry a notebook around generally. Just, it's so convenient. Okay, in modern times, smartphones with a note app do the trick if you're on the Muggle world, but still, notebooks are just so convenient. Okay, Hermione has written something on the page. Bad Hermione. Bad Hermione. Ripping out the book. Also, I think there's a spell to just copy pages, and surely Hermione would know that, but whatever. The word is pipes. So, Cecilia, wanna have a go at it?
Yes. Why? If Salazar Slytherin built the chamber, then how can it be in a bathroom? How are the pipes important for the movement of the snake?
Yeah, how did the entrance end up in a girl's bathroom? Like, you must not be named told us bathrooms weren't a thing back when Hogwarts was built, so how?
Well, the founders lived a long, long time ago. At a time where bathrooms were not a thing, just like metal pipes were not invented yet. If they were, the wizards would not have used them to this extent. Wizards are famously behind with Muggle inventions after all.
Well, the pipes could be made of stone. They could be.
I guess.
Technically. Instead of metal or something. Just... It's a possibility.
Back to the bathrooms. They got bathrooms in the 18th century. So we are working with under 300 years for possible remodeling. the only descendants we know of are the Gaunts, who had already gone mad through inbreeding by the 1920s, if I'm not mistaken. I can't see any of them doing a remodeling.
The Gaunts were also by that point above Hogwarts. They just the Gaunts that we meet during the books they never attended Hogwarts.
No,
except for
Tom,
people. But Tom didn't know he was a Gaunt until later. So,
taking that into account, I doubt the castle got remodeled by a Slytherin heir since the introduction of bathrooms. They would have needed to do that while the bathrooms were built without anyone noticing they were hiding the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets in a girl's bathroom and connecting large pipes to it for the basilisk to move around in. And we know the basilisk is freaking huge. So the pipes need to be even larger in order to allow the basilisk to slither forward. How?
Well, I have a theory based on the books and no other material known to us, because the books are canon and nothing else is. So the pipes, it would make sense that like Salazar Slytherin back in the day built the pipes himself, not having anything to do with plumbing, the invention of bathrooms or whatever, just as like, large stone tubes, pipes that he specifically built so his basilisk could move around.
That would make sense.
Yes. And I know you got the quote, but ignoring the quote, this would counter most of the arguments you had following up this, so for your convenience, I deleted them. I'm not sorry.
I know you're not. So, based on the information we get from the books alone, this doesn't make any sense. But for once, I did some research.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, let
I'm
me,
impressed.
for once, read something to our dear audience, taken from Wizarding World on the Chamber of Secrets.
Wow. Deep breaths, Cecilia. You're gonna quote something.
The existence of the chamber was known to Slytherin's descendants and those with whom they chose to share the information. Thus, the rumor stayed alive through the centuries.
Well, it stayed alive until it got lost along the way anyway. Because like, when Marvolo or one of his predecessors decided to leave Hogwarts, I suppose, we don't know anything about that.
Yeah, no we don't. There is clear evidence that the chamber was opened more than once between the death of Slytherin and the entrance of Tom Riddle in the 20th century.
No, there's not. Because by Harry's generation, people know only of Tom's opening, and there is no indication that anyone ever knew of previous instances. Dumbledore surely would have known, because it's Dumbledore. Unless no one ever unleashed the monster until Tom did. But why would that be the case? So, no.
When first created, the chamber was accessed through a concealed trapdoor into a series of magical tunnels. However, when Hogwarts plumbing became more elaborate in the 18th century, this was a rare instance of wizards copying muggles, because hitherto they simply relieved themselves wherever they stood and vanished the evidence.
We did not need to know that. You hack author, we did not need to know that.
The entrance to the chamber was threatened, being located on the side of a proposed bathroom. The presence in school at the time of a student called Corvinus Gaunt, direct descendant of Slytherin and ancestor of Tom Riddle, explains how this...
Continue.
Explains how the simple trapdoor was secretly protected, so that those who knew how could still access the entrance to the chamber even after newfangled plumbing had been placed on top of it.
So the quote doesn't actually say ancestor?
No, it doesn't, but I have trouble pronouncing the other word, so I decided to change it.
Since one word is descendant, I suppose it might be antecedent. It's just a fancy word for ancestor, like, yeah, whatever. Also,
yes.
The mere presence of a Corvinus gaunt who is clearly male doesn't explain anything at all. How did it end up in a girl's bathroom? Just his presence alone would just no.
How did he even know?
How did he do it?
How did he know that about the plans where the bathrooms were supposed to be built? And how did he sneak into the girls' bathroom? I mean, it was still built at the time, so maybe that wasn't a problem really, because it wasn't a girls' bathroom yet, just a construction site.
It just doesn't explain anything. So
no.
Last bit.
Whispers that a monster lived in the depths of the castle were also prevalent for centuries. Again, this is because those who could hear and speak to it were not always as discreet as they might have been. The Gaunt family could not resist boasting of their knowledge.
Boasting
of their knowledge. As nobody else could hear the creature sliding beneath floorboards or, latterly, through the plumbing. They did not have many believers, and none until Whittle dared unleash the monster on the castle.
Beneath the floorboards. Hogwarts doesn't have stone floors then?
Guess not.
But old castle.
In my head there are also stone floors.
Beneath the floor. No.
Imagine how much they would be creaking all the time. It would drive me insane.
Yeah, that's why it's a creepy old castle. So magical, creaking floorboards. Yeah. Something sliding under. No.
No. But this article explains some things and means that Neitshayd is wrong about the pipes being built by Salazar Slytherin, but still leaves a lot to be desired, and if you only count the books, it's not canon.
Yeah, so if the article were canon, I would be wrong. I'm not doing the downs. But we don't count because, like, my theory makes the most sense. And it's not in the books. I refuse to believe that the basilisk was ever sliding beneath the floorboards. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, I also don't want to believe that. And are the pipes the basilisk uses the same ones used for tap water and wastewater? Because that would be unhygienic. Very unhygienic.
Yes. Icky. Poor basilisk.
And there must be multiple exits. Otherwise, the basilisk would always have to come and go from Myrtle's bathroom to get anywhere within the castle. And those exits would have to be large enough for that huge snake. Because the basilisk is a bloody huge snake.
So, in summary, none of this pipe stuff makes any sense whatsoever.
Pipes. Magic.
Also, what a coincidence that all victims had protections against dying and merely got petrified. Hermione and Penelope are the only victims who took precautions against that. The attacks from Tom's time aren't specified, so for the sake of not assuming the worst writing, I'll presume those were different kinds of attacks, like actual injuries and such, and perhaps one or two petrifications. Not quite sure what Tom was trying to accomplish though, like, did he want to scare the Muggleborns out of Hogwarts? With his own situation as a half-blood orphan being what it was, like, what was his goal?
Maybe they saw the tail of the snake and fell down some stairs.
Nah. Yeah, because that totally counts as an attack when you're in a castle with moving staircases and ghosts and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, so Harry and Tom... Sorry, Harry went one. Ronald Weasley, go to tell McGonagall, but they end up hiding in a wardrobe inside the staff room instead when McGonagall makes a school-wide announcement that all students must return to their dormitories at once. Ah, children. What would have happened had they told the teachers about their findings first instead of deciding to hide and eavesdrop and tell them afterwards, which they never end up doing?
I don't understand why they decided to hide either. Just stay out there. Tell the teachers, and all would have been so much easier. But no, can't trust the adults. Have to be the stupid Gryffindor hero.
Yeah, and it's like they were planning to tell the teachers afterwards, but no, they stayed hidden. Why did they stay hidden? I don't understand.
I have no clue.
Stupid children?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Maybe.
were they too shocked to come out and tell the teachers?
Maybe. That seems likely, actually. Anyone would be shocked to hear their sister had been taken and was likely going to die.
Yeah, I suppose. And so, instead of telling the other teachers, they end up going to Lockhart. Boys, are you stupid?
Maybe.
Are you stupid, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Harry and Ron both know that Lockhart is a fraud. They both heard the way the other teachers were mocking him. And still they think he's actually going to do something, go down to the chamber? They're going to tell Lockhart, of all people, about the chamber and its monster.
Idiot children.
Yes. So, down, down, down the rabbit hole they go. Or slimy pipe, I guess. Ooh, animal bones! Fancy. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But also why? Don't serpents eat their prey raw? There wouldn't be any bones left.
Special snake? Eaten by
Big snake.
other things?
Try to imagine
there?
how would a freaking huge basilisk eat a rat and leave the bones? It's just
Maybe the rats just got trapped there and starved?
they're rats. No way. Rats always find a way. So yeah, they find a gigantic snakeskin down there, probably worth a lot of money. I distinctly remember that boomslang skin, which is a snake in the Harry Potter world, is used as an ingredient in potions, so surely basilisk skin would be very valuable.
Aren't snake skins normally transparent? And the color comes from the snake's flesh and not its skin?
So it's not the flesh. It's a lower level of the skin. You should know about that, Cecilia. You got a course about that stuff. And it's the outer, harder, transparent skin layer is the one being shed, and the lower layer of the skin, where all the far pigments are, that one stays on the snake. It's like it's kind of like the outer layer kind of multiplies or something. A new layer is being built right underneath the outmost layer, and then sheds the outer layer, and the new one is the new outer layer. You know what I mean. But like snakes in Harry's world can also wink for some reason, so who knows how that works.
I don't.
It's a fantasy magical deadly death stare snake. Either way, because they went to Lockhart for help, Harry and Ron are now being held at one point. And it's Ron's one point, so oh dear. The convenient plot device that realistically should have been repaired months ago is saving them now.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out. Yes.
Yep.
Chapter 17. The Heir of Slytherin.
Ooh.
Harry, love, that basilisk could kill you in a heartbeat. You wouldn't have the time to even think about closing your eyes. And if you manage, then there's still a massive snake with deadly venom that you don't have any defense against.
It's just going to gobble you up whole.
Yes. What was he thinking, going into this alone without a plan?
Don't fling your wand away, Harry. Put it down next to you or pocket it. Are you an idiot or can you do wandless magic?
Clearly an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Harry. Harry. You naive, stupid little Gryffindor. Do you not mistrust this odd memory that falsely accused your dearest Hagrid at all? Do you not find him suspicious for taking your wand? Honestly, how on earth did Harry survive this entire thing? Plot armor. That's how.
You would have realized it earlier, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I was never a child. Would you have realized it earlier as a 12-year-old child, Cecilia?
I like to think yes, but it's been a while since I was 12 years old, so I can't say for sure.
I'm disappointed. I thought you were smart.
I was, but I'm also Hufflepuff.
Yeah, but come on. Can you be any more sus than Tom is now?
No, and that's why I would have probably noticed, but it would have taken me a little bit, not as long as it takes Harry, but still way longer than it would have taken you.
Well, and it probably would have taken you longer as well, because you wouldn't have flung your wand away.
Nope.
For him to pick up. You would still have your wand, and that's the most suspicious move of them all, to do that.
Yes.
Alright, it is time for the villain monologue. The hints were all there, we saw them, Harry didn't. They were written well for the most part, so skip. Tom is such a fascinating character. So much more interesting than Voldy. She, who must not be named, actually managed to write a half-decent, charming villain here. For a very short moment. What happened, Voldy? Did your creator not care to make you authentic anymore? I'll also assume that Hagrid mistook some wolf cups for werewolf cups because werewolves are human 95% of the time. Roughly 95%. I checked that. Yeah, it's just like... Or is it just a careless example of something he might as well have done, or a baseless rumor, and not something Hagrid actually did? Because if that is true, that's disturbing.
I mean, do you know that werewolf cups are not maybe 100% werewolf at the beginning and only turn human later?
What?
Was that ever specified? It's Harry Potter. It's all weird.
Yeah, from what we know from the books, every werewolf was a human that was bitten and then turned. There is no evidence that werewolves
were human babies bitten?
Baby. Also, Remus has a kid, and that kid has no werewolf traits whatsoever, so...
But if it was werewolf pups, allegedly...
Pups are... Puppies are dogs. Well, no, pups... Yeah, actually, no, wait, I wrote cups, so the book must have been cups, but it's pups for... Is that a mistake? Either I misspelled it, or she who must not be named did a mistake there, because cups is for felines, pups is for canines, puppies is for dogs.
Huh. So it should be werewolf pups.
Yes, you were right.
So did human babies get bitten so that there could be werewolf pups?
That was one that I don't think even Crayback would do that. He would probably... No, wait, he bit Remus as a child. But as a baby, he would just eat the babies, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And baby will just... Yeah, I don't think Hagrid did that. It's probably just a rumor. Or maybe he mistook wolves or what... Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we got quite a lot of threads connecting us to the 6th book here with Tom's story. Book 2 was originally my favorite after book 6. When I still loved them. Long time ago. Okay, yeah, we're skipping the middle morning. I wonder, does one need to say the exact phrase that Tom says to summon the basilisk? If so, how did Tom figure that out? How did he even find the chamber in the first place?
He stood there and hissed a lot.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
in secret. Otherwise, everyone would think he was mad.
Yeah, in the middle of the night when everyone is sleeping and there are no girls in the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, just go around in his lot. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, fandom likes to portray him as this genius that figures it out by utilizing incredibly advanced magic or something. But, like, what's the author's canon answer? Did she think about that question at all?
I have no clue.
Probably not. So, realistically, Harry would have died fighting the basilisk. And realistically, he shouldn't have been able to lift that sword. Swords are heavy. And then use it probably just like that because swords are heavy and yada yada yada. Point is, Harry should be dead. It's even more dramatic and unrealistic in the film, if I remember correctly, but it's like, how did he survive that? How can the plot armor be that strong? Wow. Oh no, wait, it's a prophecy.
Prophecy.
No, wait. I was about to say only Voldy can kill Harry, but this is Voldy commanding the basilisk, so it should still count.
Back to the sword. That sword is decorated with rubies the size of eggs. I'm assuming chicken eggs? Those are freaking big rubies, like bloody hell. And we are talking plural here? How big is the handle that all those rubies fit?
Imagine, not chicken eggs, but ostrich eggs. Imagine that.
Poor ostriches? But,
it's rubies the size of ostrich eggs. So...
yeah, rubies the size of
ostriches are unaffected, but that's huge.
Yes, but I know that
maybe it's like from these small little birds. Forgot the name.
There
but you know
are
what
enough
I mean,
ostrich eggs that get stolen from ostriches.
Yeah, but this is rubies. That's not an actual egg.
I know. I know.
Yeah, but maybe he means the small eggs, the small ones.
Maybe.
You continue with what you wanted to say, and I'll check what they were called.
Harry is probably lucky that the basilisk had already lost blood from Fawkes' attacks. Otherwise, I somehow doubt that the sword through the roof of the mouth would have been enough.
Well, into the brain, like not a zombie, but... if he has the correct angle and like through the roof of his mouth into the brain, then dead.
Dead. So basilisk, dead now.
Quail eggs.
Quail.
Those are the small ones that some people I think might be allergic to or something. Quail eggs.
Basilisk dead. Time to go.
But quail eggs are still big for rubies.
Time
Aren't
to go.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes, they still are big for rubies.
Phoenix to the rescue.
Especially if you have multiple in one sword handle, it's still one might work, but multiple, I don't question Fawkes being able to lift them all, but Fawkes, Harry, one holds Harry's ropes. Ginny one's hand. And Lockhart, Ginny's other hand. Yes. So they have long arm strength or something? And how does Harry's rope not rip?
We were told that phoenixes can carry great loads, but can you hold onto a phoenix tail feather with one hand and another person with the other? More than one person? Yeah. But never mind. We get an explanation for this. It's an offhand mention, but Harry tells us that he feels light as a feather all of a sudden. So apparently Fawkes' magic makes them all very light. And that's how they manage.
Neat.
It's actually there. It's very offhand, but yeah. So I believe this is the last chapter. Chapter 18. Dobby's Reward. Adventure over. All that's left is to reap the rewards. Oh, yes, Dumbledore. Your biased, sure, reward them for being recklessly stupid and breaking way too many rules. Children's book.
Special awards for service to the school. And 200 points each. The point inflation is real. Help.
Moving on. So,
Dumbledore says, impaled upon your own sword, Gilderoy. So he knew all along and is a terrible headmaster. But finding competent teachers is impossible, so maybe he did the best he could?
or it was part of his plan in training Harry, having him expose a fraud or something.
Sounds very plausible.
Okay, so Voldemort put a piece of himself in me? Ooh, foreshadowing.
Ooh.
I still think Harry would have been better off in Slytherin, though.
Same. If Dumbledore only figured out the Hogwarts after the diary...
Journal.
I was about to correct myself, but you beat me to it. Does that mean this short inspection was enough to figure out that Harry is one as well? And telling Harry he can speak Parseltongue because Voldy can? As a consequence of now knowing that Harry is a Horcrux?
Curious and curiouser. So, okay. Anyway, anything left? All right. The chapter title.
Harry pulled off his sock and put the... I'm just gonna say it so that you can correct me. Diary!
Journal.
Into it. Now, the journal is all smelly and gross.
Yes. Yeah, stuff the journal into a smelly sock. Ooh. And throw it into Mr. Malfoy's arm. Who will discard the sock, essentially freeing the house off. I'm surprised that actually worked. Did Dobby lunge after the smelly sock when Lucius threw it aside?
Could be.
This was also so much more dramatic in the film. Didn't Lucius try to cast a killing curse or something?
He did.
Yeah. I think in the film maybe he actually threw it at Dobby, but in the book he threw it aside. So, how did Dobby get that? And I think any other house elf in the books, because they're problematic, would have not tried to catch the sock. Or interpret it as being freed. See Winky, but So, are exams cancelled for everyone or everyone but the 5th and 7th years? Because those students have official exams to sit through and pass, otherwise their future is screwed.
Let's cancel exams as a school treat. But without owls, the students can't take their newt classes. And without newts, the 7th years have a disadvantage on the job market. They would have studied their bloody asses off for 2 freaking years with nothing to show for it. I wouldn't want that.
They wouldn't have been able to graduate in the first place.
Having to retake their 7th year, now joined with the 6th years. So 1 year there's just no new people on the job market, and the next year they're double the amount. So that's gonna be one hell of a fight for jobs.
They also don't have enough teachers at Hogwarts with that. They don't even have enough teachers as it is.
No.
So
I have no clue how that is supposed to work, so let's hope exams didn't get cancelled for owls and newts.
Yeah. Maybe those count as exams, or just school exams are cancelled, but not the standard education thingy, ministry issued exams. Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, that's it for book 2. You, the audience, can find us on Twitter, Spotify, and obviously on YouTube, all at Tea and Toffees.
And if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a comment. How do you think the pipe thing works? Share your headcanons with us. Also, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Next up is Jurassic Park. For the new year, we have 2 episodes planned that are probably gonna be Avatar, unless I change my mind.
We should specify Avatar The Last Airbender, not the blue people Avatar.
Yeah, we're not gonna do those. No.
Nope.
I don't think they're not good enough for me to have enough interpretational whatever. I can't analyze them. There's not enough analyzing material.
They are beautiful. Story is lacking.
Yes. But we can't imagine us doing an entire episode just being like, yeah, they're beautiful and that's it.
Yes, they're beautiful. Story is lacking. They could improve on this,
The world building.
this, and this.
The world building is so uncreative. It's for a story that looks so awesome and so different from what we're used to. The world building is really not creative at all. Anyway, so yeah, we might start the new year probably with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter: Prisoner of Azkaban will be out in February because we're twice monthly now. So Harry Potter's not going to be every month. I decided no, I can't handle that. I don't like. No. I need to no. Okay, so yeah, Jurassic Park gonna be the last one for this year. We'll see you all next time. Bye.